We back. It's your boy Tony C. Smack like that. I know I've been gone for a while. New Year, Happy New Year to y'all all, but we're going to get right into a PBC. Last night, February 1st, 2025. They put on a phenomenal event in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. Headlining was both Davids in the light heavyweight division. David Benavidez versus David Morrell. Titles on the line and all. On the undercard, they had Jesus Ramos going against Rosario. He ended up going against Jared Hurd, shout out to him. Went against Jared Hurd in Pro Box TV like a couple months ago in 2024. I think that ended in a draw. And if you ask me, I was surprised to see him on this card. No disrespect to him. I just surprised, because what in Pro Box TV fight, I think him and Hurd did their thing, but was it enough to put him on the undercard for this fight? Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying I didn't see a lot that was like, okay. So when I saw him, I was surprised, but shout out to boxers getting more chances to showcase and get a bag. So shout out to any boxer that's able to get on a major card like this. So Rosario gets on the card, but like I said, he didn't do too much in the Pro Box TV that made me think to warrant this fight, and he didn't do a lot in the ring anyway. They ended up stopping it. He just wasn't punching, and the ref was just like, no more. He just wasn't punching, and so it was easy work for Jesus Ramos. Rosario, every loss he's taken, he's been stopped. So I don't know how much left he has in the tank. He's been through a lot. He's had a great boxing career. He's definitely got some titles. He beat J-Rock and got the titles, but then lost to Charlo. So I just don't know what's left for him right now. I guess him and his team's got to go back to it, but shout out to any man willing to get back in that ring time and time again. But I just don't know how much left he has to be the guy he was. The Issac Pitbull Cruz going against Fierro. Now, these are two Mexican warriors. And what I mean to tell you, this fight, you know Pitbull. He only know one gear. That transmission don't even got a neutral. That thing goes straight drive, straight forward. That's all it's doing. No reverse, no nothing. And that's what Pitbull was able to do. And from what I heard, that's why he wasn't tripping about the rematch with who he lost to last year. And if you ask me, Venezuela did his thing and got that W from Issac because he was able to just use the jab and keep him at a distance. Pitbull wasn't able to stay in the phone booth and go to work. This is Pitbull's type of fight when he can just go forward and smother you, lead with his head, and just start hitting you. He was able to do that. I think Fierro put on a great performance. I think Issac put on a great performance. It was just a little bit better. Now, granted, one scorecard was kind of a wide margin. I don't agree with that, but I do agree that Pitbull deserved the W. So Pitbull got the W after taking the L last year. So that's a good look for Pitbull. I don't know what's next for him. Fierro, shout out to him. He showed heart. He showed grit. And I know it's early. It's only February. But that might be a great candidate for Fight of the Year. So what we're going to do is write that down on the whiteboard as one of the fights of the year. And we're going to keep up with these fights as they keep coming. Y'all see some, tag me in them on social media so I can take a look at them. Y'all, everything, all my socials is Smack Like That. Just like this channel. And so we can keep tracking in December. We're going to see which one deserves Fight of the Year. On to the co-main event. We have Stephon Scooter Fulton going against no other than Brandon Figueroa. Now, imagine these two have fought before, but Figueroa thought he got robbed because it came down to a split decision and he lost. But Fulton felt like he did enough to get the W, but Figueroa said, I'm not going to let it go to the judges this time. But I think from the fight, Figueroa seemed to be able to get to Fulton, but Fulton was just able to move. Figueroa had a problem cutting off the ring. And Fulton was able to just move around the ring. He showed ring generalship. He was just commanding the ring however he wanted to. I do think he laid on the ropes too much, and he said he would work on that. And even Boots' dad, who was his trainer, was telling him, get off the ropes. He said it multiple times. Because that's where Figueroa was comfortable putting Fulton on the ropes. When Fulton would lay on the ropes, Figueroa could then go to work. But Fulton was still able to get a couple uppercuts and a couple of jabs, good shots in there too. Granted, the crowd did boo, but in defense of Figueroa and Fulton, when you have two Mexican warriors fight like Pitbull did in Fierro, and then you put Fulton and Figueroa and there was more of a slow, technical style, I could understand. People was like, dang, we just had this slugfest. Now we got the co-main event and it's a little bit slow. It's going to get people like, dang. You know, you so happy about that fireworks in that undercard. Now you got the co-main event and it's not giving you that. You like, dang. So you go from high to back to low. So I understand why people were booing. But I think Fulton was able to show, he you know, his only L is from that Japanese monster in Yahweh. That's his only L. But he's been able to show he can make adjustments and be better, and he's shown it. He showed it last night. Like I said, Youngin had the butter Tim boxing style. Youngin had the jeans, the baggy jean shorts. Youngin say time to put in work. Shout out to all of Philly. I know Philly's like a second home to me. So shout out to Philly, shout out to Fulton and them getting that dub. Figueroa, I just think what messed Figueroa up and not getting this win is when he would get Fulton with a shot and Fulton might back up, Figueroa would smother himself and go like just lean all the way in. And that's what Fulton was able to work on instead of, I think, keeping a distance while he was hitting him. He just will hurry up and go to him. And I'm like, it's easy to clinch now because you always so close to him. So, and he didn't cut off the ring. He didn't cut off the ring. On to that main event. And when I mean to tell you this, I'm happy about this main event. It did not slack. It was one of light heavyweight is on the rise. Both Davids. We had David Morrell against David Benavidez. Cuba, Mexico. And, you know, Morrell was saying, oh, he's like, David Benavidez moves like Robocop. Can make you think at when Ali was talking about George Foreman. We were like, oh. But guess what? It worked for George Foreman. And in this fight, it worked for David Benavidez. Now, you asked me the early rounds, they could have went either way, but I think Benavidez was, them body shots hurt Morrell. It hurt him. Granted, Benavidez got clipped one good time, I think it was second or third round, and he was able to fall towards Morrell, I think, to keep him up. He did get clipped. But came about 6th round, you had David Benavidez hitting that body. I think Morrell was dropping his guard, but even then when he would come back up with the guard, David Benavidez was able to go around to the side, like hit him on the ear and stuff like that. And I think Morrell just slacked off too much. Obviously, I don't think he just didn't have the experience to withstand going toe-to-toe with somebody like David Benavidez. I think, if you ask me, that's what it was. He just did not have that experience. Before last night, he's only been in 11 fights. Granted, he's 11-0. And then he moved up in weight. David Benavidez moved up in weight. But David Benavidez has what, 28, 29 fights? Only been knocked down once before last night. Dave Morrell did do one that only one other person has done. He was able to clip him another time. I thought it was a trip, and then I saw it again. He caught him, but he was a little bit off balance. But hey, still a knockdown. He did knock David Benavidez down. But after that, they went to the swinging with the last 10 seconds in the 11th round. And what ended up happening was David Benavidez was able to swing right as the bell rung. But David Morrell swung after to get his lick back and got the point taken. So it was basically like the knockdown didn't count anyway. But I just think David Benavidez was able to make the adjustments. In the 6th round is where he was able to command the fight and made Morrell have to really go into savage mode. Like lay it all on the table. And it wasn't enough. I do think David Benavidez, besides the first couple rounds, I think it was mainly David Benavidez winning. Now, people were saying, oh, David Benavidez was pulling on Richard Combs' guard, Morrell's guard, so he can hit him. Some people say that's not cheating because other people do it. It did look like that at sometimes, but it didn't like that the whole fight. So those who are David Morrell fans, just be real. Now, granted, if you ask me, do I like David Benavidez? Am I a fan of his style? Yes. I'm a fan of that type of boxing. I'm a fan of him. But I'm also a big fan of boxing. So either way, I'm grateful. Whoever won, I would have been happy. I'm not upset. It was a great fight. David Morrell is a young phenom. I just think he needs more matches under his belt. And I think he will bounce back with no problems. He showed heart. He showed grit. I just think David Benavidez having twice as much more fights and being with the caliber of people he's been in the ring with Caleb Plant, Andrade, and other people, I just think it helped David Benavidez command the ring and be able to take control after the 6th round because he stopped headhunting and just went to the body. And I think them body shots really hurt Morrell. He was able to be strong and not fall down, but he still got the loss. So, but shout out to both fighters. You know, they laid it all out there. They hugged it out after, took a picture after. Like they say, yeah, and for them 8 weeks, they wouldn't knock your head off. But after that, all right, we both make it home to our families. We both got a bag. And that's how it's supposed to be, man. Unless it's some real personal stuff behind closed doors, leave it all out there in the ring. And then after the ring, after the fight is over, hey, we both get to go home to our families to see another day. And we went home richer. So if you ask me, PBC put on a phenomenal card. The fights did not disappoint. So thank you, PBC. Mind you, we got Tank and Roach on the PBC card at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, March 1st. I can't wait for that fight. Because on the undercard, they got Gary Antoine Russell fighting. So I'm definitely happy about those two fights. So I can't wait to see. I don't know. I just want to see a great fight between Tank and Roach. I hope it goes the distance, but some people believe it won't go the distance. I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping both give it their all and we get a great performance. That's what I'm hoping for. So we will see what happens with that. Y'all know what it is. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment. But we back at it. We got some races coming up. I'm be posting that. We got the racing podcast coming soon with my boy Kyle. Get ready to check that out. Should be either end of this month or going into March. We're going to start that up. But make sure y'all follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, everything smack like that. Y'all know what it is. Keep a go smack mentality, and it ain't too much you can't accomplish. Smack like that!